Hi guys, and welcome to another episode of Kabir Considers. In this video, I'm going to react to what do New Zealanders think of America. Now this should be a fun one because New Zealand is probably one of, if not the most remote developed countries on the planet. I mean, from here, it's like a 23 or something hour flight. Insane. However, American culture, as with most other countries, has influenced New Zealand as well. I'm sure a lot of the music, a lot of the TV, movies they consume, fashion, technology is probably American products. So it'll be fun to see, what the thoughts are, what the general consensus is of the people about America, because, they're so far away from America. So it'll be interesting to see what kind of opinions we'll see. So let's do it.
James Prime here, and today I'm in the Windy City, the other Windy City, which is Wellington, New Zealand, the capital of New Zealand. City, and following the formats of my other videos, I'm going to go around and ask what New Zealanders think of Americans/America. So, we'll do the transition, I'll cut to some B-roll, and during the B-roll, I'm going to add some comments from the previous videos just to spice things up a bit. So, we'll do the transition.
That was pretty smooth. Ironically, when you live in America, there isn't as much to do as they make it seem, or I might just boring. You guys do realize we're all not from the South, right? I'm from Hawaii, and to be honest, I don't really feel American. We are isolated.
First question is, have you ever been to America?
No.
No.
Yeah, so it was, I think, when I was 2, so I don't remember it.
I've been there once. I was there for 1 week.
Yes, I have been. So I was in Seattle for a couple years, San Francisco for a year, and then in Middle America for 4 years.
I did a little bit around LA and then Nevada and Arizona.
No, I have not been to America yet.
So about 50,
Yeah, I went there when I was 8 or 10. I went to Kansas City.
What are your general thoughts on America?
To be honest, the only thing I've heard about America was Trump building some wall or something like that, and which I don't agree on, but... Yeah.
Hang on, so that's the only thing he knows about America, the wall?
Yeah, that's my personal opinion.
They seem really patriotic. Yeah, it was really passionate about their country.
Huge. Yeah, big place.
America was definitely the home of the free. It was where democracy was, and there was that feeling. But right now, in our current stage, it's going through a massive change.
Yeah.
And no one really knows how it's going to come out the other side. So, but I think generally speaking, it's Kiwis always have a feeling of an alliance with America.
I love America, so I would live there, for sure. I think the people are amazing, the food's amazing. So my best friends are there now. I would consider it to be more of my home than here.
Oh,
right.
Wow.
Interesting, yeah.
Interesting. So she sounds like she's born and bred New Zealander, but she considers America more her home.
I love America. I really love. I think I could live there if I could. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I've mainly been to the bigger cities though, like New York and LA.
Yeah.
Been to Hawaii, which I love. But yeah, I really love it.
Lots of kind of fast food.
A lot of
but
people say
kind
this.
of a lot of things are possible. Compared to New Zealand, a lot of things can happen.
Interesting.
And it's quite a busy place in comparison, for sure.
My general...
Would you guys still agree with that it's still possible for someone with nothing to become, say a well-off person or a millionaire? Is the American dream still possible? Because a lot of people say, or a few people say now that, it's a lot harder, social and economical mobility is really, really hard now compared to the 80s and stuff. Would you agree with that?
thoughts of America, I always think of it as a place for opportunity. So that's, if anyone wants to make it big, I feel like you'd want to go to America. I also think a lot about the gun violence over there, discrimination.
I think America is a very polarized country. I think it's really different between state to state, and of course it would be. It's so vast. And comparative to New Zealand, we're such a small island, it's quite a bit more homogenous. But it's funny you guys saying opportunity, because I think there is a lot of opportunity, but the opportunity comes with a lot of sacrifice, which I feel as though in New Zealand there's perhaps more of a safety blanket for the people that don't. So my experience in the States, as in Kansas, was in the airport. There's always people begging, and it's quite forward in your face there, rather than here it's a bit more mellowed out.
What are your general thoughts on Americans?
They're quite welcoming when you want to have a conversation with them. But I'd love to have a mate as one, though, to be honest.
This guy sounds just like the director of Thor: Love and Thunder, the Kiwi dude, Taika Waititi.
Honest, but just off the movies, they're pretty hearty fellas.
They're quite loud, but like they're really outgoing people. I think the ones I've met. So
I've never really met an American. I think you're the first. But you seem nice.
Sometimes there is a little bit of ignorance, but I guess that's with any culture in any country you have. Right. But no hate.
Americans are cool. I find Americans extremely friendly, and we've heard that feedback from Americans about us, but it's in a different way.
Right.
Different kind of friendliness. But there is definitely, Americans are very friendly people. From my experience.
For
me,
I
would agree.
So I'm in the startup scene, and we've got a really big issue in New Zealand, which is called tall poppy. So like when we're successful, we dumb it down. Not dumb it down, but we like tone it down, so we don't like to put our successes on other people. Right. Whereas in the States, it's like I feel like everyone's championing each other, and everyone's so much more excited about the opportunities and like, you know, how you're doing better on the world stage and like everything that you're doing, whereas in New Zealand it's a lot different than that. So I just feel like the support in the States is so much more amazing.
But there's going to be jealous
friends
people
are more excited to be there
well.
for you, and whereas over here it's like, oh, you're doing something amazing, like don't tell anybody because they're going to get really scared about it.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah, I agree with what Azal said, but I think they're just so much more enthusiastic and like, I don't know, it's so like weird to explain because everyone in New Zealand is so laid back. And then when you meet people in America, they're just so like, they're just so different and energetic and like, yeah. Okay. I really like them. I've made a lot of friends over there.
You kind of stand for like one thing and one other thing. It's quite black and white, which I find sometimes people can be quite black and white about things.
I think conservative is one of the main things that I think. The people that I have met that are from America, and like my auntie's American, super lovely, super welcoming. Just really, I think really nice people when I think of Americans.
My stereotype for Americans is quite like forward-spoken, like very like opinionated with their things, and then they won't be ashamed to sort of speak their mind.
I like that. I've been told that I'm quite a direct person. Like obviously not to the point of being rude, but if I'm having a conversation with someone, I would much prefer someone tells me how they really feel. Just be honest and direct with, you know, we don't have to go around in circles trying to get information out of each other. You know, just be honest, right?
I work with a couple of Americans and they've always just been like, this is what we're doing, this is how we're doing it, and there's less room for compromise. But also in saying that, there are heaps of exceptions to the rule. And I think you can sort of see where people come from in the States a bit, and it shines through. Right. Yeah.
What is something you like about America?
I think it's NFL. Is it NFL?
NFL, yeah, like American football.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I'd love to play that.
Definitely their music and stuff.
He looks
like
big
rap
enough, to be fair.
Yeah, but they're like festivals.
Be a good linebacker.
Yeah, they're awesome.
Probably the theme parks, the amount of theme parks they have.
Man, Disney World.
We only have one here.
If you guys like roller coasters.
Oh, okay.
Cedar Point. Yeah. Shout out to.
Well, probably the first thing that probably comes to mind is the different types of fast foods you get.
Yeah.
Like you got like a whole bunch of different things for kind of the same thing, but they're all kind of very different. Yeah. Like you go to like a burger joint place, they're all different compared to New Zealand where it's just Burger King or Macca's.
Right.
So that's probably one thing, and probably the food proportions. Like our large cup would be like this, it would be like your guy's small. It's like ridiculous.
The food in America is brilliant, and there's so much of it. Love the history of it because it's pretty unique about how.
I like this guy a lot, man. It's like a chill sort of grandpa, really relaxed.
How it started and how it grew.
Right.
I love the spirit of rebelliousness in that day.
Yeah.
Against, you know, the English. Actually, one of the most amazing things that come out of America is the Constitution. Very, very beautiful document.
I just love the energy. Like for me, the energy in America is a lot different. Like I feel everyone's really motivated. Everyone's doing something. Everyone wants to be doing something.
Hustle
Confident,
culture,
motivated.
for sure.
Something I like is, I guess, everywhere's different. Everywhere you go is so different to the last place you've been.
Right.
That's what I really like. So I guess that's why so many people over there holiday in their country, because everywhere you go
There's
is
so
so
much to do.
different.
Yeah.
Two things off the top of my head would be pink lemonade. I love the pink lemonade. Froth it everywhere I go, pink lemonade.
What's that?
And how you get refills with that, like free refills, dope. And then I loved Arizona. Like, honestly, one of the most beautiful places I've ever been to. Such a cool place, yeah.
What I like is that I feel like if you go to a different state, you're going to feel like you're in a different like country. Like from what I've seen, I know that there's little places that look like Belgium and like all these different areas, so I think that's really cool. I also like how I feel like there's so many opportunities there to succeed, obviously with hard work though.
Waffles and dining. I love a diner culture. It's awesome.
What is something you do not like about America?
I think definitely for me anyway, it would definitely be its opinion on gun violence and how that to me is like controversial. I can't see how, to me anyway, how it should be.
Such a debate about that. You know, it's like, man. Yeah, I'm not even going to get started here. Maybe that's for another video.
Controversial. I feel like it should just be black and white about something like that.
The rest of the world uses the metric system. Why doesn't America use the metric
It's so
system?
true.
I haven't quite formulated my final opinion
so
on this,
true.
but how America will get involved in so many things around the world. There's times when I think, maybe in that situation, America should step out.
What I don't like about it is the traffic. Like the traffic in LA can just like die. Like it just shouldn't be a thing. So I drove in the States for 3 years and I was terrified about getting pulled over.
Oh, yeah.
And here it's like, I wouldn't even think twice. Like a cop would pull me over in New Zealand. I'd be like, oh, hello, like how are you? Like, cool, you know what you were doing? And you'd be like, yeah, okay, I was going like a little bit over the speed limit.
Yeah.
Over there, I was absolutely terrified to get pulled over. I don't know why. It was just like this irrational fear. But I think over there, like it's more seen, cops over there are seen, like they contribute to fear.
Oh, right, yeah.
If that makes sense. Whereas I wouldn't think of New Zealand police. Like I wouldn't see a policeman driving around. I wouldn't say, it doesn't bring up any fear.
I hear what she's saying, but I do think a lot of that fear is based on what we've seen in the media and stuff like that. Like I've not obviously, because I've only been to America on holiday. I've never spoken to an officer, but I'm sure that there's plenty of great officers that they'll just tell you what you did wrong and send you on your way. Like she said, I don't think there's many that will just go on a power trip. I could be wrong though. Maybe I'm being naive.
Fear for me. Whereas I see a cop in the States, I'm like, oh, why are they here? Like they've got a gun. It's all of these things that we're just not used to here in New Zealand.
Yep.
You could just see the difference between like the rich and the poor. Like it's so obvious. And the whole race thing, I think it's still a big problem over there, even if they say it's not.
Yeah.
That's definitely what I experienced in New York.
Right.
In New York, really?
Not so much anywhere else, but yeah, I just feel like it's still there and they're trying to ignore it.
The same field. I just think the racism there, the discrimination, you see it every day. Yeah, just seeing how prevalent it is and how in your face, and yet people are still trying to deny that it's occurring. And obviously I think Donald Trump isn't really doing much to help.
The American ego sort of like prostrated on the rest of the world, like we're going to do this way or you can get lost. And it's sort of like, well, as a small country, we know that we have to cooperate and the world should be cooperating for things like climate change and like big issues that are pressing on us. And when the states are so against it and not willing to cooperate and they're not leading that charge, then it's just...
But I don't think America's against climate change. Like there's going to be a few deniers, but I think most people know that there is something happening with the globe. Am I wrong?
We're not going to get anywhere.
Could you give us your best American accent?
Hello, my name is Shai. I come from the far north in New Zealand. I sound like an islander, and that was my attempt.
Yeah, man.
Hey, my name is Zach, and I like, I don't know.
Oh, okay. Howdy, y'all.
Hi there, folks. It's a great day, isn't it?
Tackles. Could you get me some tackles?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Can I please have a glass of water?
Not bad. It's pretty good to be fair.
Hi, my name is Meg and my favorite food is a roast.
That's perfect.
You actually did really good.
Ooh, a really windy spot. Surely this will sound good. Well, there you have it, folks. That is what some
That
New
was fun.
Zealanders
That
think
was
about
good.
America.
That was fun. I think a lot of what was said, you know, I could have predicted, you know, a lot of the stuff that was said. I do think that, you know, yes, America definitely is. There is a hustle culture that I've seen. You know, the whole side hustle thing, for example. I've heard from people that they work really long hours there, you know, on average, and you guys don't get a lot of vacation time. I think that's both good and bad. You should obviously want to better yourself, you know, financially, career-wise, but I do think you should also, you know, prioritize mental health as well, mental well-being, because I've seen it myself. You know, if I work consistently as hard as I can, I'll just crash and I'll need to take like a week or two off where I do zero work. Whereas if I do a more manageable, you know, work output, I'll be able to sustain that for a prolonged period of time. So yeah, let me know what your thoughts are about that, but also about the video in general. But yeah, this was fun. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.